survivalist friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a review series, a product review series, and I'm just going to go over many different products that I use when I head out to the woods. I'll only review things that I actually use, and I will leave a link in the description below so you can purchase them on Amazon if you want. So it'll be right below. So today I have this MoKo water filter. It comes in this nice little bag, right? Here's the tubes that it comes with. I'm just going to show you the pump first. It comes with the syringe, backwash syringe. Now this thing is actually really amazing. It's not too expensive. I think it's around $40. So it's made out of, I think, stainless steel. It's pretty durable. It's got a bit of a rough texture to it. It fits in your hand pretty good. See, it's MoKo. It comes in this forest green color or a black color. I picked the forest green color because I was a little worried that they still had a lot of the older versions in black. It seems like they constantly update this thing. Like the other ones were a little smoother, and the backwash thing had a tip on it. Now that's not the case. You can just stick it in to do the backwash. So this is what it does. It pops up. The dirty water source goes in here, the long tube. So this is the long tube. It's about 3.5 feet long. Just pop it in there like that. And here at the bottom you have a floaty, and it prevents, let's say if you're in a little tiny stream, you can put it all the way to the bottom. There's a little screen there that stops a bunch of sediment and gook from getting into it. So if you barely have any water, you want to put it all the way down to the bottom so it floats on top. You know, if you got a few feet there, then just give it a few inches. You don't need much, but you want to make sure you keep it from the bottom so it doesn't fill up with gook. And then the shorter one will just go straight into your water bottle or whatever you're putting it in. And it's about 1.5 feet long. It goes in the top. So the dirty water goes into the bottom. And you'll get, if you're gonna do it properly, you will get about 500 to 600 milliliters in 1 hour, or in 1 minute. I've seen a lot of malarkey online, and I just want to clarify a few things. There's a lot of there's good reviews and bad reviews, but I think a lot of the bad reviews is just simply people they're impatient and they want to pump this thing really fast. You know, they think, oh, I'm just gonna get 4 liters of water in a minute, and then the thing ends up breaking. But you can't do that. You have to be patient. You have to understand that this thing is filtering water that, I mean, you could take out fluoride, not completely, but fluoride is 0.01 microns. And the carbon filter in here, there's 2 little filters. It might be a 3-stage, but I know there's 2 filters I can see, but maybe on the inside it might be a little different, but I know there's at least 2. And it works at 0.01 microns, which is, or 0.01 microns. And the smallest harmful bacteria, I don't think any bacteria gets any smaller than 0.02 microns. And this is 0.01. So even the tiniest little nastiest little buggers that could get into your system, this will block it out, no problem. And that's just another reason why you want to be gentle and just let it do its thing, because you don't want to forcibly break this thing and then have some of those bacteria maybe leak through or crack through and get into your water supply. So you want to use it properly, right? So a lot of these people I notice, even the way they type in the reviews, it seems like they're the type of person that maybe just doesn't look into things, and they're not patient. That's what I'm guessing, because I've had no problems with this, and I've watched reviews of people who have the older models, and they were just kind of making a fuss about the few changes that would have been nice, which they've done now. There's just a few things, but honestly, the thing now, it's pretty good. It works amazing. I was out at this stagnant lake I purposely did that. I'm gonna make a video showing how to use this thing even in a really murky looking lake or a pond. And yeah, I pumped up a half a liter in about a minute, drank it, and it was fine. It didn't seem like there was a bunch of electrolytes in it or that it was super hydrating, but I mean, it was water and it gave me what I needed. And it's been 2 weeks and I feel fine. I didn't get sick, I didn't feel nauseous, so this thing definitely works and it could save your ass. Now, but here's the thing. If you are going out on a camping trip, or if you're practicing survival like I do, or camp, you know, or hunting or fishing, and you only bring a liter or two of water with you and you're out for a few days, this thing is amazing. But you gotta make sure that you clean the thing after each use, and you wanna keep a minimal of 75% rubbing alcohol. So you want to make sure that you always keep about a half a liter of filtered water for the backwash, so you can backwash it a few times. I'll show you how to do that. But you want to make sure that you have clean water so you can do the backwash, but after each time you use it, so make sure that you have enough water where you're going to have a half a liter for backwash, and then you're going to have enough to do you for 24 to 48 hours, because you want this thing to dry out for at least 24 hours. Okay, so you pump out 4 liters, which will do you for a couple days, maybe 6 or 8 if you really want to. And right after, make sure you keep pumping it and you get all the water out of it as much as you can. And I'll show you how to take this thing apart, all right? So you just take the tubes off. Now this unscrews. It's like this. It's just a little cap. There's the filter. This is literally just the pump. You don't want to take these screws. You don't have to take them. So you just want to make sure the inside's clean too. Just give that a little rinse, and you know, just pump it a few times. Make sure you get all the water out of the pump. And then this is just a little cap to screw into. It actually just comes off. It doesn't screw up. It just pops off. There's 2 rubber seals there, and I'm pretty sure I might be wrong. You might have to buy rubber tubes. I don't remember if there's some on the box or not, but that's okay. No, this comes with the rubber tubes when you buy a new filter. Sorry. So here, I'm pretty sure this is a carbon filter at the bottom, and then on the inside is like a cotton carbon type filter. It does 3,000 liters or a year. If you were to drink 2 liters of water a day, you're going to use roughly 700 to 850 liters of water in a year. And this says after a year, you're going to need a new filter. But if you're only drinking about 500 liters, it might do you a few years. As long as you backwash this thing properly, take it all apart like this, and air dry it, you'll be fine. So what I did was I backwashed it all. I just put this back in here. That's for drying out. So you go like this. You take your clean water, like I said earlier, and you just get clean water in there. Stick it in there like that. Make sure you hold on to the end here. And remember, it's gonna go in through this top out that way. Because you don't want to go this way. You gotta make sure that you got this in the right place, and that's in the bottom. And you just push the clean water through there a few times. Get all the gook out. Backwash that thing. Do it 5-10 times. Whenever you feel comfortable. Okay, you do that a few times. Boom, you're good. Then you can take the syringe and dilute it with water, or fill it completely with your 75% and up rubbing alcohol, and shoot that through. And then rinse it again with water a couple times, and then boom, the alcohol will kill any bacteria that could build up over time. And that's another thing I think people are having problems with. They weren't cleaning it out, and it was gooking up, and bacteria was building up, and then gook and slime and stuff like that was forming inside of the things, and and it's not being, the water's not able to get through. And not only that, they're forcing it too much and they're starting to break the pump and they're messing it up and they're just not being careful. And some people, I think they even misplace the rubber seals and they don't even realize it, and they complain about leaks and all this and that. So basically, just take care of your stuff, read the manual, watch reviews, and listen to people like me. And yeah, if you treat this thing properly, it will last you, you know, up to 3 years if you really want it to. But it's always good to have 1 or 2 of these extras. They're only like $20 in the States, and then in Canada they're like $35. But sometimes there's discounts, and depending on where you get it, if you get it from the company or if you get it off Amazon, I'll leave all that in the description below. So after you backwash it and everything, it's all good. Just take the cap off, take this out, and then you could take a paper bag if you want, a piece of paper towel, or a box, or just a clean surface you can put it on, and leave it by a fan. Leave it in a room that's not all dusty, and just let it air out for a day or 2. And make sure you shake it before you set it down to dry out. Make sure all the water's out, and then just let it dry out, and you'll know when it's dry. You know, give it at least 24 hours, like I said. Have it by a fan. Make sure there's not a lot of dust and, you know, bacteria in the room. Just, you want to air it out, dry it out really good, and then you just, you know, put it back together like so. Put this back on there. Make sure your rubber seals are fine. There's no cracks. They're not misplaced or anything. And you pop back on. And you also want to dry this too. You want to leave this in the position so it can dry out. So there's one thing you need to know about this when you put it back together. These little grooves, they are very fine. They could have made them a little bit deeper, but I would just suggest being very careful when you're putting it back in. So when you put it in, rather than just twisting it right away, you want to reverse counterclockwise until you feel it settle in. You know how you do that with the bottle cap? And if you twist it the wrong way, it angles, and then the little grooves get twisted and bent. You don't want that, because then it'll start leaking from the pressure. So you got to make sure that it's not crooked and it's going in nice and easy, because you don't want it to go off and that happen. And then when you're using it, so as you're tightening it, if it pops out of place, it doesn't feel right, just go back. Just go back. Be very gentle. It does wiggle like this a little bit, so you got to make sure that it's just nice and straight when you put it in there. Make sure that it's decent. This is the only thing that I had an issue with. Other than that, it's amazing. So I think all they should do, if they do watch this video, you just make the grooves a little deeper. Other than that, MoKo has made an amazing product. It's absolutely amazing. It's crazy. Like, the technology, the things you can do with carbon filters and technology these days is just amazing. So you want to tighten that until it feels pretty decently tight. You don't want to force it too much. Just make sure it's on there good, because you don't want to break the thing. All right. So it's on there pretty good now. And yeah, you can just move this around like this and just put her down there, and it fits in like that, and there you go. Now these hoses, when you put them back together, don't kink them. You're gonna end up ruining your hose, and it's gonna end up cracking. Then when you get out in the dry weather and the cold weather, it's gonna start splitting. You're not gonna have properly working hoses, and then you're gonna have to buy more stuff. So just try to make a nice little loop and just you know, wrap it around like that, so it'll fit your bag nicely. Just a nice little loop like that. Make sure there's no kinks in it. Do the same thing with the other one, and it'll fit in the bag real nice. Yeah. And always make sure that you clean this out too. You want to dry the hose with it when you dry it out as well. When it's all together, if you just pump it a few times, it'll clear out all the water. And I find there was a little bit of water in the tubes, but I just left it there and it ended up drying out. I had the fan on it for a couple hours and the tubes dried out fine. Absolutely fine. Another thing you can do is you can take the tubes, and I'm not sure how corrosive alcohol would be on this type of rubber, but you could take half water, 1 part water, 1 part vinegar, and soak the tubes in that for 30 seconds or a minute, and then just rinse it and then let it air dry. Vinegar works great with stuff like this. It's not really corrosive, it cleans the stuff well, and it's safe to drink after. You could probably use alcohol if you really had to, just make sure it's diluted with water. And yeah, make sure this thing stays clean. You just gotta make sure it all stays clean, right? And then you will always have nice fresh water, you'll never get sick, and you'll never have to worry when you go out. And if something terrible happens in society, everybody's gonna want to be your best friend because you got the water filters. So yeah, that fits in there, and then you can just, there you go, beautiful. So MoKo water filter, really impressive, really amazing. It fits in your pocket. It, you know, fits in your backpack, no problem. It's yeah, I give this like 5 stars. Yeah, I'd say about 5 stars, just because it works so great. I haven't had any issues at all. If I do have issues, I'll make another video, but I am gonna make another video showing it in a murky lake, and I'll get it pretty murky looking, and I'll show you how good of a job it does, and I'll show how to properly clean it. But this is basically just a review. So I'll be doing a series. I'll be reviewing all the stuff that I use when I go out, many different products you can use for survival, and this is just the first of the series. This is one of the videos of me reviewing my products. I actually have another water filter. I'm going to do another video, so stay tuned, and subscribe and like, hit notification bell if you like this stuff. I will keep making videos, and I really hope that I can help serve a survivalist camping type community that just wants to know how to, you know, be self-efficient, whether you're off-grid with solar panels, and, you know, just, that's why I'm here. I want to try and help people be, you know, survivalists. I want to be able to, you know, help people out. So yeah, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you want one of these MoKo filters, and if you want the pump and the filter and everything, link in the description below. And if you want an extra filter, I'll try to have a link to that too. And yeah, if you want one, boom, bada bing, bada bang. Yeah, awesome. Survival camp.